Morning guys, first update then, first video update of the Revell's Junkers JU88 A4 version in 1/48 scale. This is my entry to James's model officer's mess is Stalingrad group build. I think it's only running till December or the end of December. So because I've had Joe's T34 group building, and I've sort of set myself a massive target with that. Really, it really did sap my mojo as well with that. I've sort of put other things back on hold, but that's now done. So this is at the minute the only thing that's on my bench. It's a Revell kit. It's 1/48 scale. It's my third ever plane I've ever done in 1/48 scale, and my third ever plane I've built in any scale since I've been back in the hobby, shall we say. More seriously. It's a reboxing of the ICM Junkers JU88, and to be fair, detail wise it's brilliant. It really is. It's lovely detail, crisp panel lines. They're all recessed as well, so they're not sort of, I forgot what the word is. Sorry, it's raised, isn't it? Raised panel lines. Another thing about the kit, I've tried to stick with this time solely out of the box, no aftermarket, no nothing. I did originally buy some gun barrels, metal RB barrels, gun barrels for the MGs. However, the MGs in this kit are lovely, so I'm keeping to the kit ones of those. The only thing that I don't know if you can class it as aftermarket, I don't know, that I've bought is masks for the windscreens and that, because as I keep stating in other videos, even the easiest of things to mask, i.e. a Spitfire or an A10 Thunderbolt Warthog, I can't mask. So in fact I've bought an Edward mask set for this. Even with the masking that I've done so far with the masking set on this kit, I've near enough ballsed up as well. So that just goes to show you, how magnificent I am at masking. Right, what else is there to tell you? Yeah, the detail of the kit is fantastic. It's really good, and I really got excited about doing it and everything. Anyway, when I started to build it, and that I started to dry fit the bits and stuff like that, and it quickly became apparent to me that it's going to be a pig of a kit to fit together, and it's going to need filler galore. So that's really knocked me a bit, considering I'm trying to get myself motivated to do more aircraft, because I'm sort of more of an armour guy. So it's annoyed me a little bit, but again, we're all modelers, so these get sent to testers, don't they? So let's have a look at the kit anyway. We're currently on where are we? Step number 49. I've constructed the two engines, which are again very nicely detailed. The only thing I would say is, in fact no, I'm down to here, number 56. The only thing I would say is, if I was going to do, if I hadn't decided that I was going to do it strictly out of the box, I would have done basically added a few bits of wires here and there. But that's all I've basically done. I was going to do, shall we say. Just stick you on pause, guys. Hang on a sec. Yeah, sorry guys. So, where were we? Yeah, so, I'm now currently on, I think, 56 we're coming on to, yeah, so we're getting the engine scale. I just realised I missed that part off that engine there, but it's not a problem because we can stick it on in a minute. So yeah, instructions are great, not a problem at all. So, the kit. This is where we are so far. As you can see, it's okay. I've masked the windows and everything, the cockpit glass, sorry. The cockpit is all done, and it's all chipped, weathered and everything. I've used, obviously I'm not using any aftermarket, so I've used the decals, seatbelt decals and everything. As you can see, I've had to use filler on certain bits, but I haven't used filler, I've used the sprue goo just to see if that was any good for the for these type of things. These wing flaps move, however I've stuck the wing ones into stuck them together because I tried to do them movable and every time I did they kept falling off. So like I say, the fit and all that is crap basically. Right down the middle of the fuselage here, and the panel here, which is like an air vent I think, is crap, full stop. So I've had to really go to work and sand here. One thing I am not good at is rescribing the panel lines or re-riveting, whatever you want to say. So, and in a way I've sort of reverted back to what how my models used to look when I was a kid. Bloody glue fingerprints everywhere. So a tip for you guys that don't know, if you do get your glue fingerprints everywhere, one thing that you can use which gets rid of them is glue. Extra thin. Don't use any glue, use your extra thin, because it's a bonder and it's what you call it, it's a liquid glue. It melts the parts, that's how it works. It melts the parts to basically together, whereas a lot of glue stick together, whereas extra thin melts. So if you get fingerprints on there, if you just basically, like I've just seen a little one, you won't pick it up on camera, but there's one there, don't flood the surface, but if you just basically just run over it just like normal, like so, like that, it will it'll get rid of them. Just let it dry, it'll get rid of the fingerprints. So I mean, you'll still have your glue stain, but of course over your time with your sanding and whatever else, if you get a very light sander, like say your UNP, your thinny stick, thin one, very thin grade one, just lightly go over it bit by, once it's dry, obviously give it a good, I'd say a good half a day to dry. I wouldn't give it a couple of hours. I mean, I know obviously it's probably dry after that, but I still wouldn't do that. But just vaguely, just keep just little circles over time, and it will go. And another tip, I always get always, if I can, buy a big sort of paintbrush, because they're always good to get rid of all the dust and it doesn't damage any parts. Neither, I mean, toothbrushes are good as well to get rid of all the dust from inside the panel lines, because you'll find that this one won't always do it, but the toothbrushes can, no go like rock hard like you would on your teeth or whatever, but just nice and gentle, and it will get out, it will get it out. So yeah, the fit, like I say, the main fuselage fit is not good. The fit of the cockpit, once you stick it together, because this part here, this wing join down here is separate, and the bottom there, so you sort of like stick the fuselage together and then you put that bit together on there and then you stick your wings on. There was a massive gap down there which was I've filled with the sprue goo, so that's going to have to be sanded again there. The wing joins then, because you get your two fuselages like that together, and then you get that bit that you stick on, and then you have to sort of add the wings on. Well, I tell you now, I very, very nearly tested see whether this plane could actually fly out the window, because it pissed me off something chronic, sorry for the language, it really did. So I've had to use sprue glue down here. Again, it still wouldn't fit properly. I've had to use that many clamps and pegs and whatever else. I think at one stage I'd basically had about 9 or 10 pegs and clamps on one wing. So that all goes there, and then you fill it, and it still had to be sanded and rescribed and everything else. So it was a right nightmare, proper nightmare it was to do. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Look, my nephew's just turned up. So yeah, the fit was crap basically, so I wasn't happy with that at all. So there you go. So I very nearly chucked it out the window and gave up and whatever else, and I thought, no, come on, let's keep going, let's see how far I can get. Greg Reilly was a big help as well, because Greg kept, we were talking to each other and he kept saying keep going and you know, see what happens, and I'm glad I have, so thank you, Greg, for that. So yeah, so we had to have filler there, filler where the sort of the crew come in and enter the cockpit, filler down the sides there. So really and truly, it's yeah, so it's going to really test my scribing skills and rescribing skills, which are non-existent. Obviously in the next updates, when I've got the primer on and the paint, I shall take the masks off and you'll be able to see in the cockpit a bit better, but at this minute in time I don't know if you'll be able to see it all that well, which I don't think you will. Let's just have a look. No, you can't see all that well, but in a nutshell, that's the cockpit at the minute. It's not too bad. I've dry brushed the wall here, which you can't see, but the wall here, sort of down here, is where all the radio boxes are and the ammunition boxes will be. I've sort of dry brushed that, painted it black, and then dry brushed it, and then can you see that there? Again, it's not great because the lighting's crap, but yeah, so that's all done in there. So, but you can see the filler, which I mean there is not great, you know, but still, there you go. So that's that part that we've done. And then of course the engines, let's put you over here for a minute, let's move you down here, no actually we'll put you there for a minute. So the engine intakes, so you get, obviously you get the engine, the housing bits of the engine, which obviously, like I say, years ago if you tested me I would have known bits and bobs of aircraft, but I haven't a clue now. So obviously this is where the engines go together. Again, the fit doesn't look great of these neither, so it's another big flaming thing that's going to have to be sanded. So they'll go on there obviously, and then you sort of like put them on like that and then clip them round, it says from the instructions anyway. It said to give the colour call out of what was the cockpit colour, which was like a dark grey, so I've done that there. However, I have now then gone and given it a matte gloss to protect it, and I've used this new MIG Ultra Matte Lucky Varnish, and lo and behold, what's happened again? You've got the misting of the grey. So I don't know why I bother trying to change from my Tamiya X whatever it is to try something new. So in a way it's gone like it's the Tamiya flat base, which I always recommend to have in your armour of your paint and everything, is your flat base Tamiya stuff, because all you need to do is, if you've got a colour that's a little bit not flat enough for you, you just need to add a couple little drops of that to your mix, and bang, it flattens it big time, which is great. However, this bloody MIG ammo stuff, it says to just basically give light coats like you should do, and don't swamp the area, which I've done. However, again, it's come out like that again. It reminds me of the old bloody Humbrol crap that they used to bring out, or still do. So luckily enough though, the engines actually, there is one engine which has just been done. I've still just got to do a bit of sanding here and there, and also attempt to try and drill out the exhaust bits there because they're all full, which is another downside to the kit. So yeah, obviously the engine actually goes in there like so, so you won't actually see the insides that bad, so it's not too bad. So, and also I should probably just get a bit of some of the weathering products or some oils and just grease the hell out of that, so it just looks like it's, you know, where the the oils and everything and petrol would have been, and that. So there's your engine. Now again, all you've heard so far is how bad the kit is. Now the good side is, look how good and well detailed this engine is. Now I'm also using a different camera, by the way. Again, I'm using the old tablet because I tried to film this last night and all I could hear was click, 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 which the new bloody camera keeps doing. But with the downside with this one is it doesn't focus that well, so you don't particularly get all that great picture close-ups, and also you only get so long video wise to do. So yeah, but the detail of this engine is very, very nice, to be fair. So and it's about 9 or 10 parts as well for the engine, so it's not you know, simple, but it's great, it adds. So I just need to really drill out the exhaust holes there where the pipes and the fuel would come, you know, can't you tell it's early in the morning, comes out all the fumes and everything. So yeah, it's a lovely little kit, lovely detailed engine bit anyway. So you can actually have the option of having these closed up so you wouldn't see it, and that's what I was going to do because of playing with time of getting it in for the group build, because I've also got I want to take part in the 75th anniversary Evans and Adam Mann's group build, and of course I'm running out of time for that because I did want to build the Dragon Tiger I've got, which I was going to do, but of course I've got about a month and a half, 2 months to do the Dragon, the Tiger one, so I really need to think about whether I'm going to do that one or a more simplified Tiger kit of the Tamiya one, I think the initial, I'm not sure, but anyway, so yeah, so I was going to close it up. However, when you get kits like this, in a way, it spoils, you know, giving it away, not seeing it really, doesn't it, I suppose. So I thought, nah, bugger it, we'll have it open. So that's what we're doing, we're having it open. But I'm sure it'll come back and bite me on the arse. And then the other bits to the kit are these bits which I've painted already, which again call for the call out. It sort of clicks on somehow like this, I think, or something, so it goes into there like that. I think. Or is it that way? I think it's that way. Anyway, by the by, it goes in there, and that's the other bit. That bit's painted black on there. So yeah. So yeah, there's the engine bits done, so that's where we are with that. Can't tell you anything else. That's obviously the mast set that we've got for it, and then yeah, so that's about where we are with the Salingrad group build, the Junkers JU88 A-4. So hope you're all well, guys, and hope you all stay safe, and yeah. Greg Reilly, who I mentioned, if you check him out, guys, lovely bloke, great chap. You want to see his final reveal of the Joe's group build? Wow, his diorama is immense. It really is worth having a look. But anyway, guys, check him out. He's simply just Greg Reilly. Check out his YouTube channel, it's brilliant. Anyway, guys, hope you all well, hope you all stay safe, and may the force be with you.